Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. We are back at you today with another discussion video, this time talking about the upcoming DLC, the Angry Cousins of the Dawi, the Chaos Dwarfs. I believe April 14th is when they're coming out. A lot of hype being generated around them, so I figured I'd spit my own 2 cents, talk a little bit about their start positions, my general thoughts, and what I think it means for the game. So, sit tight, grab a snack and drink, and settle in for some discussion. So, Total War Warhammer 3 Chaos Dwarf starting positions. Let's get into it. Alright, so we are starting off with the first Lord of Astrogoth, okay? I can't remember if he's the Mage Priest or the Mech Man, but either way, I'm talking less about the Lords here and more about, their starting positions and, what it means for the area. So, starting up here, kind of at the juncture of the Chaos Wastes and Norska Kislev. It's a very important junction that I found, especially with I've played two really thorough Chaos campaigns now with Valkia and Sigvald, where I pretty much did the same thing both times. I basically just went Dark Fortress hopping all the way down until I got into Kislev, and having another major power right there at the bottleneck between Chaos forces going into Kislev, that's certainly going to be interesting for playing other people. Well, for playing people other than the Chaos Dwarves. I don't know what the natural affinity is going to be between Chaos Dwarves and Chaos. I mean, you could say it's maybe in the name, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what those random number generators in game think. Something tells me you're not going to be going up against wave upon wave of Archeon, frickin' all sorts of warriors of chaos and some of the bigger champions of the gods, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely interested to see how this plays out against not only the forces of chaos and northern Kislev, but how it affects the World's Edge Mountains and the dwarves, because you can't talk about the Chaos Dwarves without talking about um, they're Goody Two Shoes cousins. So up top, there wouldn't. I think. Thorgrim is far enough south that it might not be that much of an impediment to him. And again, this depends how strong the AI are and not being wiped out immediately by a freaking greenskin Wa. But well, even though that would be lore thematic. I'm more curious to see how fast aggression will kick off between Ungrim and maybe even the I keep forgetting. The faction name is a Bone Rat. Azag. There we go. I could not remember Azag's name for a while. I wonder if Azag is going to be much of a threat up here. But all in all, I think it's a good addition to the area. Oh my gosh, are they in the Realm of Souls campaign too? I mean, it only makes sense, but I'm just wondering what their separate purpose is going to be. Yeah, it's going to be the first time the Realm of Souls is. Well, it's not the first time. The Warriors of Chaos have their own separate objectives, so that's interesting. Yeah, so let's see what they have to say. Astrogath Ironhand starts northwest of Zarnagruden, close to several orc and dwarf factions, as well as Kislev, which will all provide him valuable free labor forces after some bullying. He will have access to some chaos factions, which could prove valuable allies and trading partners. Alright, so it looks like the friction is definitely set up with the orcs of the the Darklands, and Kislev early on. But overall, I think it's a great addition to this area of the map. I've always felt it relatively empty. Of course, the faction that's in there right now, the Slaves of Zar, they were always meant as a placeholder, but yeah, I didn't really feel like the Darklands held too much value and wasn't really much interested in them. And 9 times out of 10, it just served as freaking Tretch's power base to make all of my dwarf campaigns absolutely miserable. So having some competitors for Tretch in the Darklands, I think is only a good thing. Yeah. So overall, I like the starting position. I think it's going to be a fun campaign too, because you got a lot of directions you can go. Well, maybe not. That entirely depends, I suppose. But you got the ogres to your right, and then you got the factions of order to your left, and a bunch of greenskins. So interesting ways to go. So yeah, overall, I like it a lot. So let's go on to Drashoath. I think it, yeah, Drashoath. That's not how you pronounce it. The Ashen has to deal with a very diverse set of enemies right from the start, being confronted by High Elves, Skaven, Ogres, Vampires, and Nurgle's favorite demons. Still, the way northwards to Zar Nagrund is relatively open, tempting Drazoath to make a glorious return from exile. This is especially true with the River Ruin now being accessible by ship. Yeah, this is the priest right here. So, overall, this is going to be a hell of a campaign, I think. I mean, we saw in the expo that Creative Assembly put out on it. Yeah, you got you got Emmerich, you got the Caravan of Blue Roses, Skaven, Ogres. Yeah, this is going to be it's going to be one heck of a campaign, especially on the higher difficulties when that anti-player bias kicks in. But yeah, it sounds like they expanded the river here, so you could actually travel up it via ship. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder how that will affect gameplay. But yeah, they talked about the Southlands Thunderdome before. Get ready for the Darklands Thunderdome down here. I mean, overall, with how I've seen the Chaos Dwarf infantry, they shouldn't have a problem with a lot of these threats. I don't know how anti-large is going to work early on for them. Besides just their workers, I don't know if I don't know if the goblin workers are anti-large. I think the orc workers are armor piercing, but yeah, the ogres might be a little bit of a problem early on. But apart from that, I mean, vampires. I don't know what the matchup against Nurgle would look like, but yeah, vampires, Emmerich, and just other greenskins and Skaven. It should be relatively favorable if you play your cards right. So, and again, just overall, I'm happy that there's more going on in the Darklands now, because down here by Pig Barter, the little intersection between, the old world and Cathay and this little middle region of the map has felt remarkably empty. And, I mean, that's through no fault of anybody's. The factions that canonically are there are just not there. So, that can't really be helped, but it definitely feels like less of a stepping stone and more of, there's actually something significant here. And it's been so long since I played the Realm of Souls campaign, I don't even know what's going on over here. So overall, I like the starting position a lot. Okay, so the colorful Babylonian boy himself, Zartan the Black, begins the game in the northeast of Zar Nagrund with the potential to raid orcs and ogres around him to ally with the chaos forces in the area, which are going to be good for trading. It may even be a tempting start raiding expeditions into Grand Cathay if more forces are needed. So yeah, getting a bit away from the Darklands here. Whew, man's going on a bit of an adventure. I'm honestly curious, because if he starts right here, I remember when Creative Assembly showed off Zartan, his starting campaign, he was all the way over in Sylvania. I mean, I saw the mini-map, and the Empire was pretty big, but I'm like, dang, what a journey to go on. Sylvania would not be the first place I would have went with the starting position. But, yeah, again, I like the map being fleshed out, because a lot of factions in a lot of area over here just doesn't feel used to me. But it's it's sort of a balance you got to strike, because to some extent, good God, the old world is just cluttered. But yeah, it's glad that I feel like there's a little bit more life coming to the far reaches of the map. But yeah, especially here. I don't know how being so far away from the Chaos Dwarfs' ancestral homeland will detract or help. I mean, obviously you got ogres aplenty to start messing with. That goes back to the same question of my question about anti-large early on, but we'll certainly figure that out. Well, you're the Chaos Dwarves, and you got a lot of chaotic allies around you, so maybe you'll be able to piggyback onto some Kurgan mass attacks into the Great Bastion, I don't know how much of a good matchup against Grand Cathay it's going to be. Those sky junks are wicked, but once you get your Chaos Dwarf artillery online, that seems like a pretty cool match. You know, you're gonna have to worry about Grimgor because I think Grimgor is pretty close to here, and yeah, that's that's pretty much the big one for most Chaos Dwarves. The big angry green git with an X that will just burn everything down. So that's gonna be a tough fight for you. So definitely recommend jumping on him early, but. You don't really have a direct enemy per se besides Grimgor. I mean, I'm sure Cathay doesn't appreciate you, but they're going to be too busy, figuring things out. So it's pretty much going to be you against the ogres for the start, and that doesn't seem too bad, especially because Zartan is, a melee-focused lord. So, we'll see. Wait, Immortal Empires, the Voliary, and the Grand Spikes. Does he start with 2 settlements? What? Huh, that's interesting. He might start with 2 settlements. It's been a while since I've seen any sort of start like that before. But, okay, yeah, overall, I think, yeah, like the couple times I've played Grand Cathay and my one village of the Curseling campaign, this, kind of top sweep of the map just feels, again, like empty placeholders, and, doesn't really have any, reason to be up there or reason to interact with it, and as such, I really do enjoy seeing more flavor being put into these areas. So, overall, I think it's a very good thing. So, at the end of the day, I think the Chaos Dwarves positions do a lot for, map cohesion, and they're going to provide a lot of interesting flavor for all kinds of campaigns moving forward. So, alright, well, as always, that was just my thoughts. If you agreed with me, tell me why down in the comment. Let's get hype for the Chaos Dwarves together. Drop any good feelings you're feeling, or what units you're ready for, or what lords you're going with, and start position you're most behind. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.